Hello and welcome to Ukraine Today's Press Review. I'm Rahim Rahemtulla, and in today's programme we're going to look at three articles from the international media. The first piece comes from the Berlin-based Leonid Bershidsky, writing in Bloomberg. It's a reaction to Russian President Putin's annual year-end press conference, which took place on Thursday. It carries the headline, "Putin isn't worried, you should be." Bershidsky says Putin gave a confident performance which indicates that he's not about to back down from his aggressive foreign policy, even though Western sanctions are hurting the Russian economy and the Russian people. Bershidsky suggests relations between Russia and the West aren't about to improve anytime soon. In a certain sense, he says Putin is still living in a 19th century of his own making. His comments on Ukraine, Russian history, geopolitics, or the economy range from mildly untrue to fantastical. Bershidsky says that all this is a gamble on Putin's part. The Russian leader is hoping to retain his popularity in spite of Russia's problems. Bershidsky is sure to note, though, that Putin hasn't spelt out a clear policy to deal with low energy prices and the ruble crisis. He ends by saying, Putin is thinking more, not less, about why a bear needs his teeth and claws. For our second article today, we turn to The Economist, which analyzes Ukraine's energy sector. On another front, Ukraine needs energy reform to fix the economy and weaken Russia's grip. The piece says that the fact of Russian gas flowing to Ukraine again is a double-edged sword. Ukraine needs the energy, but its reliance on Russia is hurting its ability to be an independent, sovereign nation. The article's writer wonders if Ukraine's politicians have the will to cut Russia out of the equation. Mr. Yatsenyuk, that's the Ukrainian Prime Minister, has ducked hard decisions on energy. The article points out that Ukraine is in a tough spot, with Russian-backed insurgents controlling territory in the east, where major coal reserves are located. Ukraine, as a result, has been forced to buy coal and electricity directly from Russia. The piece ends on a quote from Mikhailo Gonchar of the Center for Global Studies, who says, with so much pressure on Ukraine, the Kremlin does not need troops to strangle Kiev. Finally, we look at an article in The Guardian which comes from Maxim Vikrov. It's actually a translation of something which first appeared in Russian on slon.ru. It's titled, Ukraine Forms Ministry of Truth to Regulate the Media. Vikrov wonders if this new information ministry could mean Ukraine risks losing its battle for democracy. He says everyone in Ukraine knows that Russia is waging a propaganda war, but doubts that this justifies the creation of the ministry. He includes a quote from journalist Mustafa Naim, who says, "We have not seen the details of the ministry, and we do not know what sort of monster we are creating." Vikrov says that there is some logic to setting up the ministry. He acknowledges that if it weren't for inflammatory articles in the Russian media, the Russian-backed insurgency in East Ukraine might not be as severe as it has turned out to be. He ends on a somewhat pessimistic note, saying that the battle for hearts and minds will not be easy. No less important to Kiev is the restoration of legitimacy in the eastern and southern regions. Here again, it will not be possible to get by without tough countermeasures. No matter how much bloggers from the capital make fun of Russian TV channels, millions of Ukrainians have internalized the cliches of Russian propaganda. And so we've seen three articles tackling some of the biggest issues of the day: an aggressive Russia, Ukraine's energy conundrum, and the information war being waged in Kiev and beyond, alongside the real battles on the ground in East Ukraine. That's all we have time for today. We won't be here over the weekend, but join us again on Monday for another press review. In Kiev, this is Ukraine Today.